Brother, if you're struggling to like get girls, or if you're struggling to get girls with their respect, there's a high chance that you're doing any of these 8 things on this whiteboard, right? Because there are mistakes you're making that are making you look feminine and weak. Although Nollywood has kind of made you think that these ideas make you a strong man, they make you attractive. Nah, they make you look weak. They make you look feminine because these are all feminine traits. The first one I'm going to talk about is what? Being vulnerable, right? You're kind of like oversharing your struggles, talking about how you're struggling with XYZ, trying to make you look romantic that, oh, that you're not perfect. Nah, nobody is perfect, right? But talking to a chick about your struggles, right, is like explaining your struggles to a child, right? No, I mean, no insult here, but bruv, women will look at it like, bruv, handle it. Women will tell you things like, oh, tell me your struggles. But to be very, very honest, they don't like to solve your struggles, right? Because it's actually, so let me tell you this, overcoming your struggles is the actual flex, not setting your struggles. Telling a chick you're with the struggles you have overcome makes her realize that, okay, this is a man worth respecting. This is a man worth giving my time. And trust me, if it's a sexual relationship, this is a man that's worth fucking. But when you start telling her, oh, I struggle with this, I struggle with that, in your mind, the crazy part is, in your mind, you're being open to her. You're telling her all of your problems, the things you're battling with, right? If it's financial struggle, nah, she doesn't really care. Bro, she does not really care. Now, you may say, oh, it might bring up what women are saying. Fuck what women are saying. Look at what they are doing, bro. You see, being very vulnerable to her, very big mistake, right? So what should you do? I would say, instead of exposing your struggles, overcome your struggles, right? So I'll tell you to overcome your struggles, and you can tell her the struggles that you have overcome. What that means is that you as a man, if you have a thing you're struggling with, actually solve it. If you are scared to do something, why don't you do it, right? You see, my channel or my message is not about you looking the part. It's about you being the part. So no. Are there things that you feel like you're struggling with? It's probably a phase that you're going through. Maybe you can share it, but why don't you share it with what is going on right now? Okay, fine. You're probably struggling with what? Maybe with the way your body looks. That's how you are hitting the gym already. That is not attractive. What that shows is that you're signaling to her that you can get it done. That, okay, you know what? I'm struggling with this right now, but as we speak, I am actually making it intentional to solve it. Now, that sends a different message than, oh, you know, I'm helpless, I was born like this. It's like, bro, fuck it, man. And two, speaking of struggles, right? Speaking of, this one is still tied to being vulnerable. The second one I would say here is your flaws, is telling your flaws. They kind of like the same thing, but the difference here is I often hear people, because I was an introvert before, right? And I trust me, all of these mistakes, I have made some of them to an extent now. When it comes to like talking about your flaws, it's like, oh, let me tell her, because you must have heard that women like vulnerable men, right? So your mind, it could be like, let me tell her that I am not really good with people, because as an introvert, right, I was not really good with people. So maybe if I tell her that I'm not really good with people, maybe she'll understand me. But guess what? What she's hearing is, oh, okay, so it means you're not so good with me also. So why am I here, right? Why am I here? So why don't I just move all along in the first place? So admitting your flaws in your head, it sounds romantic. In your head, it feels like, oh, maybe she might even seek to help me. Bruv, that thing is not romantic. That thing is not sexy. Get that shit out of your head. So what should you do with your flaws, right? You can either reframe your flaws. You'll be like, okay, well, I'm very selective with the people I'm talking to, right? I am very careful about the people I have in my life. A typical example is, you may not have friends, right? You may not have friends, right? And then, to you, that could be a flaw. To me, I don't know how that's not a flaw, Sha. It could be like, well, I'm just very selective with people in my life. It's that simple. Like, you've taken something that looks like an obvious problem, by the way. We live in a world where when you don't have friends, it becomes a problem. But I think for most people, it's a conditional thing, not like a real thing. So heading back to this is, instead of telling her as your flaws, you can reframe them, right? But I always tell guys, please, if you know it's a problem in your life, fix that problem. Fixing your problem actually makes you more attractive than speaking about it, right? The only time you speak about it is if you're solving it, right? Or you know, for example, maybe your head is balding, right? Your hair is falling off. Can be like, well, my hair is falling off and I think I'm not really bothered. She will know with the energy you tell her, because she could be like, okay, you know what? Maybe it's really not a big deal like that, because trust me, a lot of things that you think are big deals are not really big deals in your head, right? If you're comfortable with your insecurities, like you know that this insecurity is a thing that you cannot fix. I'll tell you, bro, get comfortable with it. Now, if there's a problem about your flaw, solve the flaw or reframe that flaw in your head. The third thing I'll talk about here is about being naive. And mind you, here, if you've been with women, being naive or ignorant, now if you've been around women now, you get to realize that all of these habits or points I'm writing here are things that women do, right? So because women do it, and we live in a feminized world, for some fucked up reasons, right? In our head, we believe that this is the right way to move. So being naive or ignorant is you thinking that everybody thinks like you. Oh my days. I think this is a problem that most guys struggle with, right? Because you think you're logical. You expect women to be logical. It's like, nah. You think because you're a good and a kind person, you expect everybody to be a good and a kind person. That is not the way the world works. You have to wake up to the way the world actually works, right? So that means is, if you meet people, right, everybody is playing a game, right? Every single body. You too, when you're talking to a girl, you're playing a game. Whether it's a romantic game, you have good intentions, it's a game you're playing, right? When a girl is talking to you, she has a game that she's playing. Even if she's playing the game for marriage, she's playing the game for relationship, everybody's playing a game, right? And this is it, right? Get out of your head, right? Figure out, if you know the game somebody else is playing, you can ask yourself, do you want to play that game in the first place? If you know you're not down for that game, right? I know that, yeah, sometimes you want to come clean and say, even, bruv, coming clean to tell a babe, to tell a girl, this is my intention, bruv, it's still a game. The game is the game, right? So this idea of, oh, you know what, I'm not here for this. If I just tell her that, okay, if I tell her I'm here for just the sex, maybe she'll see me as honest, or you think if you meet her and it's okay, I'm here for a relationship, bro, it's still a game, right? The difference is your game was upfront, and trust me, it's actually a very good game. When you see a girl, right, and you tell her your game upfront, right, what it does is it makes you feel it makes you look actually confident and be like, and it makes her realize, okay, you know what, she may not think about it. Again, there are other factors to play, right? Don't just think because you walk up to a girl and say, oh, you're attractive, I want to date you, I think it's going to work that way. It does not work that way. The point is, if you know what you want and you know the right game to play, then play the game, right? At the same time, but don't think that because you're a good person, other people will be good at you. Because that is where women think, right? That's why women think, oh, men should be more emotional, oh, men should be more open, or men should be more vulnerable, because they themselves think that, okay, you know what, if I'm emotional, if I'm vulnerable, that's my nature. So women think men, right, or men think like them, right, which is crazy. We live in a world where I think one of these biggest problems we have, right, I think is we have this problem from, I think, feminism, when they say men and women are equal. So in the heads of men, women think or women are logical. In the heads of women, men are emotional. So bruv, we are two different people, right? So stop thinking that other people think like you. So I'll say, yeah, stop thinking everyone thinks like you, right? So number four, which is the one that kind of like I'll be telling guys, even girls. So I think this number four is, I'll say, stop being too available. So why I just laughed, right, is because in my last podcast episode that I shot, right, I asked my guest, I was like, do you think guys should be emotional towards their girlfriends? And he paused. He said, well, guess what? Yes, you can, but you have a quota, you have a limit. You don't know what the quota is, but all you have to know is that you may cry the first time, she might overlook it. The second or third time, bruv, she's going out. So yeah, stop being too available, right? Now this is very, very funny, because you see when girls will say she wants you to give her all the attention, because that is a feminine brain. A feminine brain is wired to give, mother nature is wired to give the child all of her attention, right? So she's thinking, you know what? Because of, I'm talking to a man, I think men are emotional too, and I crave that attention. You know what? Maybe if you give me all the attention, I'll be much more happy, right? Because when you gave her attention, she was happy. Now, what you don't realize is, this is even a good time to even show you how the teaching works. You give her attention, right? This is a normal emotional state. You give her attention, emotional state goes up, right? It stays there with the attention, you being in her presence. When you're not there, it goes down. Now she's like, oh no, give me attention, give me attention. You give her attention, it goes up again, right? And for no, she now begs you for all of the attention. In her mind, she thinks this is what she gets. But this is called boring. I'm obviously using like a wrong graph. This is called boring because at some point she'll get tired, right? What happens there is called habituation, where she feels like, I'm bored with this guy. I've seen everything about him already. So when you're always available to a woman, right? Trust me, at some point, she gets tired of it. At some point, it becomes boring to her, right? In your mind, you think, yes, you are doing what she wanted. But bro, I've told you, women are emotional, right? Stop thinking that they are like you. Stop being naive. Stop thinking like, oh, she must be logical. She must want it because she said she wants it. Nah, that's not how women operate. So stop being too available. When I meet girls, what I tell them is this, right? I'm not the texting type, right? If you text me, I'll just call you, trash it out, and move on, right? I don't like to text. Now, there's something that I say as a reverse card. I got from a movie, from me some soldier. It says, I may not give you part of me all the time, right? I'll give you all of me part of the time. So when we go out, I'm not going out and we're texting on my phone, right? We're not going out and I'm leaving you to text on your phone, no. We're going to have a full conversation. When we're together, you're going to laugh. So that's why I'm going to lie to me. I feel like I overcompensate with having a very good present. So I'll tell you this. Don't give her all those crappy attention, good morning text all the time, always texting every 5 minutes, every single day, bruv. Text her, call her. It's just, to be very, very honest, right? I cannot believe that. Texting to me is even a childish thing, right? Your text should either lead to a phone call or a physical meetup. All those gay ass texts, trash through the window. Probably shows that it shows that you have too much time. Now I'm telling you this, bruv. My advice here is, bruv, is even get busy, right? Get busy, and then later become available. Later become available. So because I'm trying to be careful here, right? I see all these dating gurus that tell you when a lady texts you, right, give her like a day or two, or give her like 4 hours before you give her a response, right? At some point, yes, we should like it. Yes, we should be emotional. Yes, the emotional roller coaster is there. The real problem is that at some point when she comes into your life, she gets to realize that this guy is playing a game. Mind you, she was naive at first, right? Because she thinks you think like her. So she'll be like, this guy is playing a game. But you know what? Fuck it. Right, this guy is BS. But if you're a bro who is ambitious, who is busy, who is on his purpose, bruv, a guy who is on his purpose will always be attractive to a woman, right? Because he gives off a different aura than other guys, right? Then number 5, which to me is very funny, is being indecisive. So being indecisive even looks like a flaw to me, right? Where a typical example now is this. You walk into a restaurant, right? You're looking at the menu for over 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and all of that. You're like, bro, guy, the fuck? You may say, oh, it's just a restaurant menu. You want to make sure that you get the best option. Bro, you should have done that before the date. You see, one thing you have to realize is, as a man, the more effortless you make things, the more attractive you are, right? So now, speaking of indecisiveness, when you're indecisive in any context, do you know what it shows? It shows a lack of direction. It shows weakness. So if you see when women going to a restaurant, right, they kind of want you to place the order first, right? And if you place the order in a certain way, right, he may want to eat the exact same thing you're eating. So if I go to a restaurant and we have like a shitload of options now, at that moment, right, I'm like, it depends on who I'm with though. If I'm with my guys, I may begin to flirt with the person who is serving the food. it's just like jokes, right? Because most of the times I have never gotten their numbers. It's just for that person who is behind the glass or something to like feel alive and everything, just like put a smile on her face. Now, but when it comes to being indecisive, right? This is what I do. If I walk into a restaurant, right, and a lot of options, I'm like, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. What goal do I have in mind when it comes to the food? A typical example is, have I consumed enough protein today? If I have not, I go for a protein-based meal, right? Have I consumed veggies in a while? Or am I trying to lose weight? I'm trying to lose weight, I'll go for the veggies. Am I going to the gym after this? Maybe I'll go for the carbs. But the point is that when I have a goal in my mind, it makes my choices what happen very, very fast. Because you're operating from a goal. And it's a thing in life. This is not a thing of just talking to women. It's a thing in life. When you have goals, right? When you have goals. So have goals, have vision, have direction. These things, they make you decisive, right? So you walk into a restaurant or you walk into anything, right? I remember when I wanted to get my first power bike, and my instructor was like, bro, what kind of riding do you want to do? If you know the kind of riding you want to do, your bike becomes automatic. And they kind of made me realize ever since then is when you're stuck with any problem, right? Or a problem of choices, ask yourself, what are you trying to achieve? If you know what you're trying to achieve, you will then know what to do next, right? So it happens in every single situation. Now, when you're going out on a date with a woman, right? The more decisive you are. Well, I mean, again, if you feel like you're going to a restaurant for the first time, why don't you even go online and look at their menu? Go online, look at their menu. Go online, look at their reviews, right? But again, take me anywhere. I'm pretty sure I'll think of my goal first. Am I going for protein first? Am I going for protein base? Am I going to the gym after carbs? Am I trying to cut veggies and some little carbs? Basically, bro, you have to keep thinking this way. You have to keep thinking from your goals, your visions, your directions, because without them, you look feminine. Women, again, it's a masculine thing. Hear me very well. It's a masculine thing for you to have a goal, for you to have a direction, for you to have a purpose. It's a masculine thing, right? So the sixth thing I would say is emotional reaction, bro. This one is feminine AF. I don't know. I think I've crossed quite a lot on my channel. Having emotional reactions. In your mind, right? In your mind, you have seen movies where the main character was emotional and people say he was attractive. Bro, that shit is feminine. Feminine as fuck. You may think you're trying to pass a message across, but bro, it is better for you to pass a message when you are calm-headed than when you are emotional. When you're emotional, what happens is your thoughts, your logic is fucked up, right? Your logic, you no longer think straight at that current moment when you are reacting, right? I'll tell you, and one thing you get to realize is, this is where stoicism comes in. I can always say, stoicism has been heavily abused these days, right? So instead of you reacting, learn how to be calm. Be calm. Learn how to be calm. You see, nothing is as attractive as a man, right? Where shit hits the fan, he's calm. He's thinking of what to do, not reacting, right? So again, this is how women get to manipulate you, right? When they can get emotional reactions from you. Now, I'm not saying you should not be emotional with your babe, right? When she tests you and begins to react, the key word here is reaction. The key word here is reaction, right? When you begin to react, at first, she might tell you, oh, it's a nice thing you opened up to me, but bro, it's weak, right? It's weak. It doesn't give you that chance to be in your full masculinity. So guess what? You're vulnerable to her. You're vulnerable to anybody that can get you to have a reaction. So what should you do? Stay calm, right? Learn to stay poised. You should not be that dude who reacts over little things, right? Be that guy who has his good mentality, right? Because whether I like it or not, right? You see, again, speaking of the fact that I forgot that I was speaking on what guys do what you could do that makes you look feminine, is that when you react, it's exactly what women do, right? When they don't know what to do, what happens is they believe that their reaction will get the problem solved. But bro, reaction only makes matters worse. Because when you're done reacting, guess what happens? You lose accountability. You lose you lose accountability. That's why when women do their stuff, right, because they know that they are very, very reactive. They know this. So they'll be like, you know what? I just feel like, don't hold me accountable for it. As a man, trust me, the whole world will hold your neck accountable. They'll press your neck for accountability. So brother, don't do that. The seventh thing I'll talk about now is seeking validation. Hey, this one is the biggest. You see, I saved the two biggest for the last. Seeking validation, right? When you are doing too much to want to impress a woman, you are doing too much to want to impress, you are doing too much to want to get their validation, right? So you're buying your watch because it makes other people respect you, right? You think it makes other people respect you. You are doing, see, bro, if there's nothing bad in buying an expensive watch, nothing bad in buying an expensive car, but buying it because you want people to feel like you are the G is a problem. Because trust me, it smells insecurity in you. Now, speaking of that, so what should you do as a man? What you should do as a man is, what you hear me very well. Do the work, right? And have confidence, right? Because speaking of that, let me tell you how this thing is feminine, right? You see, as a man, when I said do the work, right? That means is you probably are going out for a date. You're going out normally, right? Bro, just dress well. If you've dressed well, and you know you've dressed well, move out. Don't expect people to say, oh, thank you, you look really good. Can I, get that shit out of your head, right? Stop getting people's validation from it. So if you know how to dress well, and then go out. So if you notice this thing with women, right? If you have ever been with women, and you go out on a date with her, and you barely talk about her beauty, do you know how obsessed she's going to be? A lot of women, right? Most women will lose their minds whenever somebody tells them, oh, you're not attractive. It's like, they, as women, they crave that validation. It's like, I want everybody to think I'm perfect. I want everyone to tell me that I am beautiful. And when one guy does not tell them that, they become very obsessed about that guy. They begin to do a lot of things about that guy. And then, whether I like it or not now, let me tell you how women use this against you as a man. If she's very manipulative. A woman will tell you, will start picking up your flaws, right? So that you can begin to want to seek validation from her. Now, she knows the tactics that is being used on women. So she'll be like, okay, you know what? Maybe this guy doesn't dress well. Let me press on his insecurities. And bro, before you know it, you begin to seek validation through those insecurities, right? So stop it, do the work, have that confidence, right? If you know that you dressed well, you don't have to let people tell you, bro, you dressed well. You've already played your part. You've done your best. Bro, do it and move on, right? Stop trying to make other people, stop trying to flex too hard. Stop trying to impress other people, right? Do it for yourself, right? Yeah, will people come? Absolutely, people will come, right? If you're buying a car and you're like, okay, with this car, people will come, fine. But don't crave that validation, right? Again, because whether I like it or not, some women, right, will come into your life. No matter how good or how badass you are, you cannot get 100% of what they women. It's not possible, right? Because women themselves have like a lot of emotional states. But if she's in a very bad emotional state, that's an uphill battle. So bro, move on. Number 8 is the one that pisses me off the most. Is, I would say, sizing other men up. Now this one happens a lot in the gym, right? Now look at me, right? I'm not buff. No, obviously, I've lost a lot of muscles because of my boxing cut and all of that for like the last 6 months. But look at me, right? In my last 6 months, I wasn't buff. I was like very, very, very decent athletic build. Sometimes I'll get guys coming to the gym, right? And then sizing me up. I'm like, bro, guy, calm down. I'm not even in your league in the first place. But I noticed that it's not about the league. It's about the insecurity. It's about the way you carry yourself. You see, there's this idea that if you want to be an alpha, you should put other men down, right? Because you want to be the alpha. You want to guard your mates, right? You want to, I think some people call it mates guarding. You want to show that you are the baddest motherfucker in this place. Man, I'm like, your muscles are quite attractive, right? You lift a lot, but you do realize your strength is useless if you can't fight. You look like you're strong, right? But the day they test your strength, trust me, you're fucked as a man. Because I've seen these gym bros fight, and trust me, it's not funny. Swinging their arms wildly. Do you know how crazy it is if you can bench 100 kg, but a guy who is 70 kg can beat the shit out of you? Right? So again, I see this in a lot at the gym where guys are like, should I call it posturing, right? They look at you and they'll posture a little bit. They want to make you feel like, they want to make you feel less than. And I'm like, bro, as a man, if you have that confidence, if you do the hard work, right? If you do the hard work and you have that confidence, right? At the gym, when men do it to you, you just feel like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? It smells insecurity, and women can smell it a while away, right? Because women do it. When you go out with women, right? Women will look at another woman, try to size her up. She's asking herself, is this woman more attractive than me? I remember this game one of my guys used to play. He used to play this game where he sees two girls, two girls. He will start talking to the less attractive one because it's going to make the more attractive one jealous. It's like, but I know, I think, not I know, I feel like I'm more attractive than my friend. Why is he talking to my friend? Now, he may just turn to the other one and maybe get her number. Actually, it's the more attractive one that is the target, right? Then the more attractive, I don't know, for some weird reason, the less attractive ones are usually proud. I don't know why, but the more attractive one now says, okay, you know what? Let me win his heart. Let me see what I can do. Let me see what he's seeing. Let me talk to him. Let me see what he's saying in his babe. And before you know it, but my guy has scored his own goal and he's gone. So my bottom line is that, bro, stop doing this thing, right? Stop sizing other men up because it does not make you more alpha. It does not make your aura increase, right? So what should you do? Stop it, right? Walk into any space with confidence, right? Begin to respect every man because trust me, being the alpha is not about muscles alone. It's not about physical size. Physical size is important. Physical strength is important. Don't whine yourself. Don't lie to yourself. It's a weak behavior to want to put other men down. It's a very weak behavior. It's a behavior that people don't really condone. So brother, I want to leave you at this because I don't want my battery dying out. If you like what you're hearing and you feel like some ideas in this video resonated with you and you feel like you want to become a strong man and a masculine man, not a feminine man, stop all these bullshit habits, right? I've already told you what to do in this video. If you like what you're hearing, please share this video with a fellow friend who you know will find it helpful because sharing this makes me realize that I'm helping more men out there. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon and bye for now, brother.